Hello fellow YouTubers. Today is Tuesday, September 11, and it's been a quite a nice day, and I got up late again, but I went to bed late again. But that's what I normally do. I think I went to bed about 2 o'clock this morning, and I got up about 10:30, 11 o'clock. Suits me just fine. I've got no schedule, as I've said before. Anyhow, I'm not going to go on with that because it's boring. I just nuked myself a mug of tea up at the house, and I had the milk carton on the bench, and pouring. I thought thought I was putting milk in. I didn't have it like that, otherwise it would have gone all over the place, of course. Nothing's coming out. What the? And I realised I'd left the cap on. Can you believe that? It took me a couple of goes before I realised I'd left the cap on. Holy smoke, talk about your mind going. And I've already had a bid for the book from a fellow Aussie. And he's bid $10. Yes. And I thank him very much for the bid. So the bidding will be open until the end of this month. It has $10 Australian, and that made me think that if anyone overseas wants to put in a bid, well, I suppose they can bid in their currency. Like $10 American, it'd be worth something like $13 Oz, I think. Yeah. They say the exchange rate at present is about 72 Australian cents in the American dollar, but when you go to exchange it, it's more like 70, if not lower. So yeah, so we've got the ball rolling, and that's good. I want to thank Glenn for his bid. Thank you very much, Glenn. I will also. I didn't say this before, and the reason is because it didn't occur to me before. But I also had caps, t-shirts and bumper stickers printed. Yeah, that was more money I spent. Yes, and I've got, so I'm going to include a cap, a t-shirt and a bumper sticker with whoever is the successful bidder. Never sold one. Never sold a cap, never sold a t-shirt, never sold a bumper sticker. It was all on my website. Never sold anything. One book, I sold one book on my website, and that was to a local lady who had a store here. And even though she paid the postage, I refunded it to her because I delivered the book to her in person, dedicated and so on. And she gave me feedback. She was very happy with the book. She thought it was good. She thought it could have been better by a more established writer, and it probably could have been too. And but feedback, I never got a lot of feedback. I've given away well over 100 copies, and I never got any feedback. No, I did. I got feedback from a lady in the US, and I got feedback from a chap in Grenfell, where my cousin lives, and he said he loved the book. He read it twice because anyhow. Yeah, so I've rambled on enough, haven't I? I've gone on and on and on and on as I usually do, and now I'm getting dry, so I'm going to have a sip of tea. Cheers. Nothing like a good mug of char. It's C-H-R. No, C-H-A. Okay, now excuse me a sec, will you, while I grab a tissue. Well, I'm going to just do a very, very short reading, because this is what I'm about to read follows the dud thing with the bomb we thought we made but didn't. It's only a short read. It's but that was a big disappointment for us. But life is full of disappointment, full of hurt too, especially the emotional kind. And no one feels that particular hurt more than a child. Sometimes it's the taunts and teases from other children. Sometimes a dressing down by a parent. But nothing cuts to the quick deeper than when you are humiliated or reprimanded for something you have said or done, and you know you didn't deserve it. A word spoken, the humiliation. Of all the things I hated about school, there was one thing that stood head and shoulders above all else. Standing up in class and having to read out loud. I wasn't the only one who felt that way. Not by a long shot. In fact, there wouldn't have been any child in my class of 5B who didn't feel the same way. Probably no child in the entire school. Or any school, if it came to that. And it wasn't so much because we lacked the capacity to enunciate. Or we might read a word that wasn't there. Or even because we couldn't read as well as others. But rather because we knew we would make fools of ourselves. Knew there was every chance we would stutter and stammer. Knew we would say something wrong or stupid. Knew we would make the silliest of mistakes that otherwise we wouldn't have made. Simply because we'd been singled out to do something we didn't like or want to do. And while we were doing it, we'd be heckled. And it was the waiting, too. Pages are sticking together. Those anxious moments when the teacher flicked through the pages of the book. Flick, 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 flick. The classroom so quiet, the sound was almost deafening. Nerves on edge, highlighting our fears and filling us with dread. Knowing that our turn will come sooner or later, but not knowing if this will be the sooner rather than the later. The flicking stops. The teacher curls the fingers of a hand over the top of the book to mark the page, then raises the book too and holds it close against his chest. Who will it be? Who will it be? George Webster, he says. And suddenly, the way I felt, the way we all had felt before the nomination, the increased heart rate, the sweating and the dry mouth, is augmented in an instant with feeling sick to the stomach and weak at the knees. Everyone is looking at me, following me with their eyes. Eyes that were looking down only a moment ago are now riveted on me, keeping track of every nuance of movement as I rise and stand, book in hand, waiting nervously for the next command. The teacher opens his book, a casual movement, relaxed, as cool as a cucumber, not a care in the world, standing tall and master of all he surveys. Someone snickers, then another and another. Is it because I'm overweight? Is my shirt tail hanging out? Have my shorts ridden up? Good God Almighty, have I made a fool of myself by just standing up? Why doesn't Sir throw a piece of chalk at them? Wouldn't be the first time. Or tell them to be quiet. He does. They do. Now it's quiet. Too quiet. How I wish I was someplace else. Turn to page, I hear him say. I do. Read the first paragraph. I begin. But the first word sticks in my throat and all that comes out of my mouth is a muffled squeak. Now I really wish I was someplace else. I wait for the heckling to begin, but Sir has experienced this before, and is ready to nip the bud of any disturbance in an instant, picking up his cane and tapping the tip against the top of his desk. He instructs me to continue, tells me to go on nice and easy, and I do. Slowly, making sure I read each and every word verbatim, making sure I don't make a mistake, waiting and needing desperately not to make a mistake. And I don't. Even though my voice rises and falls and wavers, I don't make a mistake. Until that word. That was 50 odd years ago. I don't remember the page number. I don't remember the paragraph. I don't even remember the title of the book. But I remember that word vividly. Route. R-O-U-T-E. I pronounced it root. And the instant the word came out of my mouth, the entire classroom erupted with laughter. Even the teacher chuckled. Yet for the life of me I couldn't understand what they found so funny. I was sure I hadn't made a mistake. I was positive I hadn't said a word wrong. So why were they all laughing? How innocent and naive I must have been. I was 10 and didn't know root, R-O-O-T, was slang for sexual intercourse. But they did. Mum would have said they all had dirty little minds. Small minds too, the way they carried on. Pointing fingers, snickering, giggling, smirking, whispering the word over and over and over again. I felt small, belittled, embarrassed, devastated, hurt beyond belief. As I'm standing there, the brunt of everyone's joke with my head down, eyes on the floor, all I wanted to do was crawl under my desk and hide. Kids can be so very, very cruel. But how did they know? We were all about the same age, in the same class. It was primary school. It was the 50s. And sex just wasn't flaunted to any degree at all when compared to the day. So how did they know? Did it mean that all the parents of all those kids tell them of the word and what it meant? I find that hard to believe. Impossible to believe. David's mother wouldn't have told him, but he knew. As what was George's mother. And he knew too. And John. But when I asked them how they knew, they all said the same thing. Just knew. Today I pronounced the word route with a silent E. As my teacher said to me after my humiliation. It's route, George. Route. Unlike root, which is invariably used today. Go figure, eh? Yeah, go figure. Well, that's it. It's enough for me. But some things really stick in your mind when things happen to you when you're a kid. A lot of things stick in my mind. Yes. Route, route. You know, filthy-minded little cretins they were. Yeah, well, thank you for watching. And until next time, bye for now. Snicker, snicker.